Hey TechKnowStuds! One of the jobs of the operating system is to manage the memory on a computer. That's the RAM on the computer. And some of the RAM is allocated during startup to the BIOS, so that way it can do some initial startup and get things going. But then a large portion of it is managed by the operating system. So in this lesson, let's get into memory management. Memory on your computer plays a key role. That is the RAM. The RAM on your computer is a staging area before things get processed on the central processing unit, or the CPU. What happens is if there's any kind of inputs into the system or things coming from storage, it all goes into RAM initially. And then it gets sent off to the CPU to be processed. The answer comes back, or whatever the solution is, whatever gets processed comes back, gets put on RAM before it goes to some sort of output or storage or the screen or wherever it's going off to. During the startup phase of your computer, initially there is the BIOS that gets loaded into the RAM for initial setup and startup of your computer. And then from there, your operating system gets loaded onto the RAM, and then your operating system plays a key role in managing that RAM or that memory. Here's another different view of what that memory, that RAM, looks like. And really what we have here is we have these blocks of data on that memory. And what we'll do is we'll take that input and we'll put those little ones and zeros into one of those blocks before it goes off to be processed. Now, we have to somehow be able to reference these different blocks. So each one of these blocks has an address, and we use that address so we could reference that particular block. I'm on my demo laptop here, and I wanted to show you a couple things. The first thing I'm going to do is click the Start button, and I'm going to type in Device Manager, and we're going to open up Device Manager. I am going to go to one of these devices. I'm going to take a look at the display adapters, and so this is my graphics card. I'm going to open that up and take a look at resources, and I can see the memory ranges that have been assigned to this. So it's using up those resources, and so I've got that. So I can see that here in the Device Manager, but there's also another thing that I wanted to show you, and that is in the sysinternals. So I can open up sysinternals here, and I'm going to scroll down to RAM map in here. And so there's the RAM map 64. I'm going to open that up, and it's going to then map out the RAM that we have. It's going to show me some stats here about which processes or which kind of things this memory is assigned to. So some interesting data here. But really what I want to do is I want to show you a couple tabs here. So the first tab that I'm going to show you is this physical pages here. So this right here is the physical address within the memory. So we can see that this first one is non-paged, whatever that means. We've got active, we've got driver locked. So I'm going to scroll it down to where we get to a file. Here's a file that's assigned to this block of memory right here. Here's another file that's assigned to this block of memory. So what we're seeing is that these different files and different resources now are assigned to these blocks of memory here and this physical address of the memory. So that's interesting there. The other thing that I want to show you is this file details. So within the file details, I can see what files are associated to which blocks. So let's take a look at a simple one first. Here's a 4K file right there. So I'm going to open it up, and we can see which physical address within memory that it's assigned to. So we've got that. Let's look at a bigger one now. We have a 13,000 one here. So I open that up, and you can see all of the blocks of data that it's assigned to. Oh, and one other thing too is look how much memory we actually have. Like this is just one file and how much memory addresses it's assigned to. If you look at the full thing, we can go back to this physical page and look at how much I scroll through. And this is just an 8 gigabit system. So somewhat small compared to some systems that we have out there. And we have a lot of these physical addresses that are assigned to the RAM that's within here. So your operating system plays a big role in managing the RAM or the memory on your system.